Alright there, everybody, so here we go straight right into like our next episode here. And remember to always please like and subscribe. Remember there is a playlist in the description here, and here we go. But before we begin, I want to do a few outfit updates. We'll give her the night one. The night one. There we go. So now we're not gonna do
Thinking
that.
about what could be lurking out here is giving me...
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a...
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid...
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know?
So how many Renans actually...
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most...
There's Zoogles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't...
Oh, I can go back. Sweet. Crap, what the heck happened to Lenegis? Looks like it's all screwed up.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to...
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live.
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way,
Dohalim?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in...
So you haven't heard what happened on
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started...
They're with me. More important...
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening.
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone.
The Forbidden Zone?
Trust me.
I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can... Let alone the
Very well. It look...
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say...
So who's for it?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people...
They seem to be just as clueless about what...
We need more information.
While we're at it, we can...
And don't forget about...
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch...
Good idea.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantage.
Right. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it.
What could be so... It's just... unbelievable.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana.
But why do all this?
Whatever their purpose.
He's right.
This Forbidden Zone might...
You heard him.
Listen to another
So,
one.
I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis...
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would...
Ordinarily, yes. Trust me. As far as we were concerned, it makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought.
Sorry.
This place is a mystery.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look, whatever did we do?
You really have no
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior We have no choice. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the... I believed...
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty.
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond recognition. Now, this unexpected visit. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the...
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship! Oh, what a great... I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I witnessed the deaths of...
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red.
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember...
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like...
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently...
Never mind. Forget I asked. Is everything okay?
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation...
I suppose the Sovereign knows I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my... I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that...
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how?
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be...
But of course. Please, I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters. But I've no way of knowing...
It's worth investigating. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and...
You'd really do that for me?
Our lot in life is of little consequence.
Oh, why...
Well, we've canvassed the city for...
No one has the faintest idea what's happened.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here.
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth.
Given everything that's happened to their city...
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are...
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been... Nothing happens devoid of a reason.
The Sovereigns? There is one thing I'm still not sure about.
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and...
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would...
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereigns, to come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself... Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the home?
No.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you...
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to...
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a...
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, what if something were to happen to this?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler.
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler or thereafter. That individual is known as the Sovereign. As for how Volron factors into all this...
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became. 300 years later, we crossed paths with Volron, who also... That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason?
I can't say for sure.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremony. We never did see Volron's body. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's called?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman... The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the...
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there...
Questions.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limit...
Then it's decided.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she... Let's go find... I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own...
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind.
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude.
Even so, the quality of life here seems I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even...
What if she's not here?
It's still too early to...
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got it?
And what skill?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your...
I'm afraid I don't...
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the...
So there is a knack to it!
Now you've got me curious.
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a...
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and...
What? They look up to you, that's all.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Lo...
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously.
With nobody left to run the show. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld.
But Dohalim was a lord.
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite...
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do...
I wonder what they'd think if they were here. Balsif, Cannabelt, Almaidr. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about...
Well, yeah, what to us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to...
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day to...
It feels strange to imagine the lords living...
Yeah.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters, and luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on...
Yes!
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself?
I'll check something.
Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Okay. Ah!
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Heros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently.
Yeah, despite the brutality.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together again.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of...
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Ren.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything?
Yeah. I think Balsif and the others, they all had their own
Yeah, but still, just because they...
I know. But at the same time, they weren't, so I guess...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were even if they did terrible things?
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And I think that's something we've...
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good...
And I'm going to keep doing my best.
More money!
There's something I just...
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that...
Yeah, that makes...
So, who?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem.
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually...
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came...
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or other.
And that never...
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded... In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been...
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be... But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they?
You and me both.
With any luck, the
No use standing around here.
Gotta go look around.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person I was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling... Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation...
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone...
If killing me will bring you peace...
Dohalim, what...
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant... My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word.
Sure, that's it. Run away like all... You're just a
Dohalim.
I apologize that you have...
Is it true?
Each of us have our pasts.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's...
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last.
Did you mean what you said? About
She has more right to my life.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and I have no intention of expiring before I do so. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left.
Okay, so that was right there. So where are we at on time? Well, this has just been traversing Lenegis. Has been this one. Got one on here. First, there's an item. No orange scale, which is pretty good hiding. Alright, so what I am going to do here is before we go into like this area here, I'm going to end like this episode right here, and I'll see everybody in like the next one.